So this commenter, TrueBrit, is asking, well, please explain how this technically works. He claims to be a chartered engineer, which is a very high-level engineer in the UK, maybe one of the countries closely aligned with the UK, and I'm going to answer this. So I'm not an engineer, and so you should be very careful with people talking outside of their expertise. And if you don't believe me, I'm totally fine, and I'm not sure that I'm right. However, think back how many times people have assured us that something will not work. That, oh no, it's not possible to track your internet behavior. No, it's not possible to surveil you through your smart TV. How many times have we heard this? And I'm sure you can come up with many other circumstances, many other situations where later on it turned out, no, actually it was possible all along. And we have been warned and it wasn't rocket science. Does that mean suddenly you have to be paranoid and leave out all the facts? Absolutely not. And this is not what I'm arguing for. But at the same time, what you shouldn't do, in my opinion, and I'm sure you will disagree with that, you should also not just say, well, I have this piece of technical system and I understand this piece, and so it's not possible to do anything with that. This has been the case with all the surveillance capitalism that we have. Because yes, well, this piece alone doesn't allow you that, and I'm sure you understand this fully. And by the way, I'm assuming you're actually trying to have a real conversation here. But by just controlling this piece of technology, it's not. But because there's 10 other pieces and you put them together and you do the cross connection with that, as we've seen in all the ad stuff, in all the surveillance that's happening online, suddenly you have the picture. The metadata is, like the meta level is what's tying it all together. So do I have proof for that? I don't. There's actually a lot of anecdotes about people being in China and seeing the feeds from those drones, because apparently it's not a secret. And if you're using a DJI drone, which you're indicating that you are, I have done so as well, you can see all the data that is being shared between the app and the drone. And now if you tell me that because you're a chartered engineer, you can assure that this data is not flowing to China, I'm sorry, I disagree. Yes, I'm very skeptical of people who are spewing paranoid stuff as well. And if you think I'm doing this, I'm totally fine with that. I can live with that. However, I think we should also be very careful of trusting people who have shown us that they cannot be trusted. Who has the Great Internet Wall? China. Who surveils every step of their citizenry? China. If you've been there, if you've seen it, you know that there is sensors everywhere. It's not only cameras, it's also microphones that pick up everything that's being said, at least in the big cities, right? And you can see them everywhere around you. So you're telling me the countries that invest massive amounts of money and engineering into surveilling, they're not going to use that data? Are you serious? I don't think so. They're going to use every bit of data there is, just as the Americans are doing, and they're probably even doing it better. So no, they're not just foregoing all of this critical information. You might be totally right. I actually believe you that you don't believe this is possible, but there's people and there's technologies that are more advanced. And if you think this is paranoid, just think of how Google held back AI advances because it didn't further the business case. So they had more advanced technology than we knew. When OpenAI forced their hand, they came out with it. And so do I believe that there's a chance that there is technology that can tie all of this together, that the data still flows out to China? I absolutely do.